Hey everybody, it is John the Comic Guy, and a guy just reached out to me and he said he had some records and he was going to actually deliver them to my house. So, as always, I'm a sure thing. I bought them. It was only $10, but I'm going to show you what I got, and let's do a flip through together, okay? So I really didn't haggle much. He just came by. You gotta love when they have home delivery. So Barry Manilow, Tanya Tucker. I might check that out. Barry Manilow live. Didn't I just get one of these the other day in bad condition? More Barry Manilow. I think Barry Manilow must be a zillionaire because he gets more records sold. Some of these great stars. Dean Martin, might have to check that out. Harry James, Nat King Cole, Jack Jones, Jackie Gleason, Judy Garland, Nelson Riddle, Pat Benatar. Get lucky. I might have to clean that up and keep this as an extra copy. Same thing with Foreigner 4. This is quite in nice shape. I'm just going to look at both of these and see which is a better copy, and I'll marry them and I'll keep one. Bay City Rollers, Grease, Saturday Night Fever, Elvis. I think that might be empty, but I'll check. Mitch Miller, James Froman. Not sure if this is no, it's a 33. Boots Randolph, Waltz, Rome, Other Worlds, Other Sounds, Bandmasters. I think this is another, must be, Fred Astaire, Red Skelton, another 33, an old 33, yep. Disco Mix, My Love Is Free. South Soul Orchestra, Bon Voyage, some oldies. They're gonna go in either my dollar bins or I'll sell them as a lot. Dukes of Distant Land, Let's Dance with the Stylistics. I might have to check the Stylistics out. Passions of Paris, Billy Vaughn, Windmills of Your Mind. That looks pretty cool, huh? I'm gonna have to check that out. It's a good time. What is this? For Whom the Bell Tolls. SFT Boys. Unfamiliar with this, but I'm gonna have to check that out. A New Jersey band, so I'm gonna check these guys out. And last but not least, Kenny Ball. All right, that was my flip through. I will do a quick summary video afterwards and show you what I decide to keep and why. Okay, so I had a chance to go through this record. So really, a little bit of the backstory on this is I knew this fellow. I didn't remember him, but a few years ago, I sold him some stereo equipment. He knew me. He was trying to find me, and he says, hey, I have some records in my car, and I could be by in 15 minutes. So I said, yeah, come on by. And I bought them, right? It was $10 for this stack of records. So these are the ones I'm keeping, and I'm going to explain to you why. So, and obviously, I may end up selling them in the future, but the first record in this collection that I'm keeping is Billy Vaughn, The Windmills of Your Mind. It seems kind of psychedelic, but apparently Billy Vaughn is sort of an orchestral pop kind of a guy. So I think the cover is interesting and intrigues me. Almost looks psychedelic to me. So I'm going to give it a shot. If I don't like it, out and Z. It goes in my 3 for $10 bin or maybe dollar bin. Now, the next is the Stylistics. Obviously, this is their first record. You Are Everything is the big song on this. So this is a song I always liked anyway. So I never had a Stylistics record. As a matter of fact, out of all these years, I'm not even sure I've seen a Stylistics record before, but I do. I like them. They sound great, and certainly You Are Everything rightfully should have been a hit because it was a great song. So You Are Everything. The next record I'm keeping is Tanya Tucker, TNT. What I think is So clearly they were trying to uh, they were selling Tanya back then because this is a gatefold cover. I am not really that familiar with Tanya Tucker music, but I'm open minded to country as well. I would say out of most of the genres, besides like polka, um, country may be some of my least favorite, but Krista has gotten me into some of the more country pop, and really, I think Tanya Tucker really was kind of a crossover breakthrough country popper. So I'm curious on how this sounds. TNT looks pretty cool, so I'm going to give this a spin. The next record I actually have multiple copies of. I actually had a better copy of it, but I'm going to keep Foreigner 4, this one, as among my extra copies of this because it is in beautiful condition. I don't think I need to mention many of the songs, but in the 80s, I went to the Foreigner 4 concert when they played the Meadowlands. Great. How many hits does this one record have? So many. So great stuff. I'm glad I have an extra copy. I probably sold a lot of my extra copies because this is not a very particularly rare record, right? I think how many of them were pressed in the United States alone? It was such a big hit. But this particular copy, and I got 2 in this particular collection, but I'm going to keep only one of them as an extra. This is a beautiful copy, so this stays with me as an extra copy. I'm going to stick it in my basement. The next, I actually married the copy. So this cover is actually a little bit nicer, a little bit better positioned and square bound. It's a little nicer than my other copy. I'm keeping both, but I put the other record in this cover because my record was flawless. This one was pretty nice. It was probably a near mint. I would say the copy that I put in here is near mint plus. Both of them had the serial number 7464-37638-1. So they were same pressing, all that. I just switched covers, and now this ultimately will go as my main listening copy. Loverboy, Get Lucky. Funny story about Loverboy. I don't know if you guys were big fans of them back in the day in the 80s, but Mike Reno, I saw them live when they warmed up for Rick Springfield out at the Borgata. This is probably about 8 years ago, maybe 9 years ago. What I thought was particularly funny, though, is they always told people that their careers basically came to a crashing halt when grunge came out. It's music and time. It's just kind of funny how these guys were really hot. Their music was great. And then suddenly grunge comes out and their careers come to a screeching halt. How ironic, right? Last but not least, the last record I'm keeping, and the reason I wanted to save this for last is not because this is particularly a record that I love the most, but I did give it a listen to before I did this. SFT Boys. These guys, it's a band out of Pennsauken, New Jersey. In fact, this was recorded at CNC Studios in Glassboro, New Jersey. I think it's always kind of cool to have New Jersey bands represented. They weren't bad. If any of you guys happen to know any of the members, I would love to interview these guys. The 4 songs on this EP were What You're Up Against. I thought it was pretty good. As a matter of fact, I thought it was pretty good. On side 2 is Tomorrow Boy, which I'm not a fan, but hey, they have more talent than I do. And then the last is Underground, which I thought was a pretty good song. So the guy who wrote all the songs was Bobby Federici, and one of the songs he co-wrote with 2 songs he wrote with Gary Wright, the bassist. But SFT Boys, I'm going to keep them. They're really not going to be on my heavy rotation of listening, but I thought that was kind of interesting that when I saw these guys were from Pennsauken, New Jersey, fellow Jersey boys, I did a quick Google on them, and people were saying, yeah, the music's okay, but they did the big no-no. The picture on the back, they had two guys with headbands. So I got to believe these guys are all around my age, maybe a few years older. But if anybody knows any of the members of this band, I would love to talk to them. I think it's pretty cool. Obviously, I have no musical skills whatsoever. So these guys and their pinkies had more skill than my entire life. But I find it interesting. And because of that, because these are Jersey boys, I'm going to keep this record. So with that, everybody, if you like this content, again, I do records and I do comic books. Please, I would encourage you to please hit the subscribe button. And I thank you so much. Please make comments. If anybody knows any of the members of SFT Boys, I'd be curious to talk to them. So thank you so much and have a great one. I'll talk to you soon.
No, I'm not picking you up. You're going to walk. Okay?